"Lucie, what do you miss the most about your mom and dad?" "Their honesty," she answered. "They were very honest people. They always told me the truth, even when I didn't want to hear it. It drove me crazy as a child, but now that I'm older, I realize that's exactly what we all need more of." Lucille Ball was much more than just a funny face on television. She was a pioneer, a trailblazer who redefined what it meant to be a woman in show business. Her role in I Love Lucy etched her name into the annals of entertainment history. Her impeccable comedic timing, unforgettable expressions, and bold persona turned her into a household name. But behind the success and the endless laughs was a woman dealing with pain, betrayal, and complicated love. Millions adored Lucy on screen, but few truly knew what she endured off-screen. Her marriage, in particular, was filled with heartache and secrets. Now, decades later, her daughter, Lucie Arnaz, has begun to speak openly about what really happened behind the curtains. It's a story of love, struggle, betrayal, and an enduring legacy that still resonates with fans around the world. Humble beginnings and early loss, Lucille Ball's early life was marked by movement and instability. Born on August 6, 1911, at 69 Stewart Avenue in Jamestown, New York, Lucy came into a modest household. Her parents, Henry Durrell Ball and Desiree D.D. Hunt, were young, hardworking, and deeply religious. Henry worked for Bell Telephone, a job that forced the family to move frequently across the country. Their religious faith was Baptist, and Lucy's lineage could be traced back to the earliest English settlers in America. Among her ancestors were notable colonial figures like Elder John Crandall and Edmund Rice. But despite the strong family roots, Lucy's childhood was anything but grounded. Tragedy struck early when, in 1915, her father died of typhoid fever while the family was living in Michigan. Lucy was just 3 years old. Her only vivid memory from that day was of a bird trapped inside their house, flapping its wings helplessly against the walls. That image haunted her for the rest of her life and gave rise to a lifelong fear of birds. After Henry's death, Dee, pregnant with her second child Fred, returned to New York and settled in the lakeside village of Celeron near Jamestown. It was a vibrant place in the summertime, filled with tourists and music. Lucy was enchanted by the energy and magic of Celeron Park, with its vaudeville acts and dance halls. These impressions would later shape her future in entertainment. But stability remained elusive. When Dee remarried a man named Edward Peterson, she and her new husband moved for work, leaving young Lucy and Fred in the care of Edward's strict Swedish parents. Life in that household was rigid. Vanity was discouraged. There was only one mirror in the house, and when Lucy was caught admiring herself, she was punished. That experience stayed with her and planted the early seeds of self-doubt. Finding the stage and herself at age 12, Lucy got her first taste of show business. Her stepfather was organizing a Shriners stage production and encouraged her to join the chorus line. That brief experience sparked something deep within her. For the first time, she felt truly seen. Still, life was far from easy. In 1927, when Lucy was a teenager, her family lost nearly everything in a legal dispute and was forced to relocate to a cramped apartment in Jamestown. Yet through it all, Lucy remained determined. By age 14, she fell for Johnny DeVita, a 21-year-old troublemaker. Her mother, Dee, was horrified. Desperate to pull her daughter away from him, she took a chance and enrolled Lucy in the John Murray Anderson School for the Dramatic Arts in New York. The school boasted impressive alumni, including Bette Davis, but Lucy felt out of place. "All I learned was how to be frightened," she later said. Her instructors told her she lacked talent. Still, Lucy wasn't one to give up. In 1928, she returned to New York City and started working as a model for fashion designer Hattie Carnegie, who suggested she bleach her hair blonde. Lucy agreed, and that decision would later become part of her iconic image. Through Carnegie, Lucy learned how to move with elegance, even if it was all just for show. "Hattie taught me how to slouch in a 30,000 sequin dress and how to wear a 40,000 sable coat like it was a rabbit," Lucy once recalled. Just as she was gaining momentum, a bout of rheumatic fever sidelined her for 2 years. But once she recovered, she dove back in. By 1932, she was modeling, handing out promotional items, and even working as the Chesterfield cigarette girl. She adopted the stage name Diane Belmont and tried her luck in Broadway chorus lines, though she was frequently fired. In 1933, she landed an uncredited part in Roman Scandals, a musical comedy starring Eddie Cantor. It wasn't a big role, but it got her to Hollywood, and that's all she needed. Hollywood hustle and breakthrough. Once in Hollywood, Lucie began climbing the studio ladder. She landed dozens of minor roles throughout the 1930s, often playing showgirls or attractive extras. But her persistence paid off. In 1942, she starred opposite Henry Fonda in The Big Street, a dramatic departure from her usual comedic roles. The performance earned her respect in the industry. A year later, she stepped in for her friend Ann Sothern in Dewberry Was a Lady, further showcasing her versatility. By the mid-1940s, Lucie had become a recognizable face in film. She starred in Best Foot Forward, Lover Comeback, The Dark Corner, and Lured, where she played a dance hall girl embroiled in a murder plot. Then came her role in the CBS radio show My Favorite Husband, where she played Liz Cooper, a quirky housewife. The show was a hit and eventually laid the groundwork for her biggest success yet, I Love Lucie. The romance and the wreckage. Lucille and DC CBS executives approached Lucie about transitioning My Favorite Husband into a television series. She agreed, but on one condition: her real-life husband Desi Arnaz had to play her on-screen spouse. The network was skeptical. Would audiences accept a Cuban bandleader and a fiery red-headed actress as a couple? So, Lucie and Desi took matters into their own hands. They developed a vaudeville act and toured it across the country. The response was overwhelming. The chemistry between the two was undeniable. CBS gave in, but behind their perfect on-screen marriage was a reality filled with turbulence. Lucie met Desi in 1940 on the set of the movie Too Many Girls. She was 28, an established actress. He was 23, a charming Cuban musician. Their chemistry was instant, even though Desi was already engaged at the time. He broke off the engagement, and within 6 months, they eloped. At first, their love burned bright. Friends noticed how Lucie bent over backward to please Desi, unusual for someone known to be fiercely independent. But problems surfaced quickly. Desi's band schedule meant he was constantly on the road. When he was home, he stayed up late hours, often returning at 3 or 4 a.m., just as Lucie was waking up to start her day. They joked about meeting in the tunnel, but it was no laughing matter. Lucie was often left alone, unsure where Desi really was at night. Then came the betrayal. Lucie discovered Desi had been seeing his ex-girlfriend, Betty Grable. Enraged, she confronted him at his mother's home and called him a caban son of a bee. Desi's response: he proposed marriage, believing it would calm the storm. They tied the knot in November 1940. Still, marriage didn't solve their issues. Lucie soon became pregnant, hoping the baby would bring them closer. "I finally had him where I wanted him, for a few days," she told friends. But heartbreak followed. She lost the baby, and the strain of Desi's alleged affairs and constant absence deepened. The show must go on despite their troubles. I Love Lucie premiered in 1951 and became a massive success. The show broke barriers. It was one of the first to feature an interracial couple, and it pioneered techniques like the three-camera setup and live audience filming. Lucie became the first woman to run a major television studio, days.Lucille Productions, launching shows like Star Trek and The Untouchables. But the strain at home persisted. Desi's drinking and infidelity worsened. Lucie filed for divorce in 1960, ending their 20-year marriage. Still, they remained friends. Desi later admitted, "I loved her very much. She loved me. But we weren't right for each other." Their daughter, Lucie Arnaz, would later reflect, "My father was complicated, brilliant, and flawed. My mother was strong but vulnerable. Together they made magic on screen. Even if off-screen, it often fell apart." A lasting legacy. Lucille Ball passed away on April 26, 1989. Her influence on comedy television and women's roles in entertainment is immeasurable. She was a woman ahead of her time, resilient, funny, and uncompromising. While I Love Lucie continues to make generations laugh, the real story behind the laughter is one of resilience in the face of adversity, of loving someone who couldn't always love you back the right way, and of fighting to be seen not just as a pretty face, but as a powerhouse. Lucille Ball's story reminds us that behind every icon is a human being, flawed, passionate, and unforgettable. And through it all, she never stopped fighting for love, laughter, and honesty.